Amines are organic compounds containing a nitrogen atom bonded to one or more alkyl or aryl groups. They're derived from ammonia by replacing one or more of the hydrogen atoms. Here's a slide showing them in context with other petrochemical routes to major surfactant intermediates. I'm going to play you a slideshow here that'll take you through all of the products built on amines. All right, we're going to run through these slides real quick. If you need to study them in more detail, just freeze the video. Amines are used across all four classes of surfactant. And let's look at anionics first. As you know from a few videos ago, acethionates and torates go together, acethionates being built on ethylene oxide. Sodium acethionate then is used as the starting point for the manufacture of torates. Sodium acethionate plus methylamine, a couple of steps downstream, gets you the torate. Also, sarcosonates, starting from a reaction between methylamine and formaldehyde, leading eventually to a sodium lauryl sarcosonate. Moving on to the big cationic category. All sorts of ester quats built on fatty acid methyl esters, plus, of course, triethanolamine. And then a range of other quats starting from a fatty nitrile. You can study those various routes. Amphoterics is another big category. Alkyl betanes and alkyl amidobetanes using dimethylamine, going through DMAPA, dimethylamine propylamine intermediate, bringing in sodium monochloroacetate, getting you a betane. And of course, the somewhat similar amphoacetates and propionates and diacetates and dipropionates using AEEA, aminoethylethanolamine. And finally in this group, the sultanes or sulfobetanes, going through some wonderfully named intermediates, including CHOPSNA, sodium 3-chloro 2-hydroxypropane sulfonate, starting from various amine intermediates or starting points, as you can see on that slide. Moving over into non-ionics, of course, good old-fashioned amides or amides, depending on your perspective. And the rather interesting methyl glucamide, I believe promoted recently by Clarion. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone. And of course, finally, amine oxides, enormous category of product used in dishwash, among other things. So what about regulatory? There's a fair bit going on, actually, most of it in the EU. Firstly, the EU is concerned about nitrosamines. These can be formed from secondary or tertiary amines, and there's limits on nitrosamine content in various end products. Secondly, there's concern around aliphatic amines with ether substituents and some proposed regulation covering a variety of these products, again, in the EU. And finally, there's EU regulation around aromatic amines formed from azodies. So that's obviously mainly a concern in the textile market. So why am I talking about amines? Two reasons. First of all, there's around 2.5 to 3 million tons of amine-related surfactants consumed globally per year. And as you saw from the review, there's some interesting product groups there. Secondly, I got a request to talk about amines in the YouTube comments. So there you are. You're welcome. Thank you again very much for your time and attention. Thank you for listening.